Resigned as a member of parliament. Pressure has been mounting on him to step down in his capacity also. For the latest on the story, we're now joined on the line by parliamentary spokesperson Moloto Mothapo. Mr. Mothapo, a very good morning to you. Can you give us a confirmation? Has Mr. Gigaba really resigned as a member of parliament?
Good morning, good afternoon, Desiree. Yes, we can confirm that the former Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Malusi Gigaba, has tendered his resignation to the Speaker of the National Assembly in his capacity as a Member of Parliament. You will remember that earlier today, the Speaker had referred both the report or the letter of the President, President Ramaphosa, and the Public Protector's report to the Ethics Committee for consideration and report, as well as the Home Affairs Committee for information. So in the light of this resignation, both committees will have to make their own determination with regard to that referral.
What reasons did he give for his resignation?
Now it's a straight to the point letter just informing the Speaker that he is resigning as a Member of Parliament, and he's thankful for the opportunity that was given to serve in that office.
You allude yourself to the fact that the committees will now have to make their own determinations. It leaves a lot of questions unanswered. Is that not a concern for Parliament?
Well, it is up to those committees to see what decision they can make with regard to the referral that the Speaker made to them. We do know that in terms of the Ethics Committee, because it operates in terms of the Ethics Code, the Ethics Code is applicable only to serving members of Parliament. But it is up to those committees to make their own decision and announce on the referral.
What recourse do the committees have in terms of the ability to call him back in to come and give evidence?
Well, that's why we don't want to preempt what decision the committees will make, because these committees have got their own functions, they've got the way they operate. It is multi-party committees that must collectively take a decision with regard to the matter that is before them. Once the Speaker has referred the matter to them, it is up to them to consider the matter and make a decision. So we will not go into that space.
Mr. Mothapo, help us make the separation again in terms of the role of Mr. Gigaba as an MP as opposed to his role as a cabinet member.
Come again, Desiree?
Just help us and the viewers again make the differentiation between the role of Mr. Gigaba as an MP and the role as a cabinet member and how we separate the two.
Yeah, you remember that all members of the executive will also be members of Parliament, with the exception of the four that in terms of the Constitution, the President can appoint outside of the National Assembly. The members of Parliament, they will serve as members of Parliament, but they are primarily responsible for their executive roles. In terms of the doctrine of separation of powers, in their capacity as members of Parliament, once they are appointed as members of the executive, they are now accountable to parliamentary committees or to the both houses. And they fulfill 100% or a full-time, in their full-time capacity, their responsibilities as members of the executive.
What does this resignation mean for Parliament, Mr. Moloto Mothapo, in terms of Malusi Gigaba's contribution to the two houses of Parliament?
Well, we'd rather not go into that because he did not specify the reasons for his own resignation. The letter of the President, like we have said, was received. In terms of the public protector's remedial actions, as well as the executive Members' Ethics Act, and it was referred to both committees. But of course, it is noteworthy that he is one of the longest-serving members of Parliament, and the resignation, it is his own decisions, and the Speaker was just informed about it.
Is the Speaker relieved that she won't have to justify the presence of Mr. Gigaba in the House?
I didn't get that.
Is the Speaker relieved that she will not necessarily have to justify the presence of this member anymore in the House?
No. The Speaker does not have to justify the presence of any member in the House. Remember, all members of Parliament are their conduct is regulated under the Ethics Code, and that there is a process as and when there are certain issues related to the serving members. And in this particular case, the matter, as I have indicated, was below or is before the both committees of Parliament, Ethics Committee and the Home Affairs Committee. And in light of this resignation as a member of Parliament, both committees will have to make their own determination. So the entire conduct of members of Parliament is regulated under the Ethics Code. So the Speaker does not have to justify the presence or otherwise of any member.
Mr. Moloto Mothapo, we thank you for your time. Moloto Mothapo is the spokesperson for Parliament and is saying there that the different committees that Mr. Gigaba would have had to continue to answer to will have to seek their own answers.